Hello everybody, this is Abby Noor and welcome back to Cupid. Now, okay, I have to do a bit of explaining. I've already recorded this. I in fact recorded about 40 minutes worth, maybe an hour, and I checked my mic was on like I'm checking now. It was on, but there was a fault in the wire. So about 3 games that I recorded had no sound. It recorded and you could hear the sound from the game but not from me. Even though I double checked and like literally the recording session I had after that, there is sound. So I don't know what happened, but a lot of you will probably be like, "Oh, Abby, you seem to know where this is going," or "Oh, you know what's going to happen," or "Oh, yeah, that's why," because I do know. It kind of, I hate it when that does happen because it kind of defeats the purpose of a game or a visual novel even, because you read it. And you want to be surprised, and I want to be surprised with you guys. I want to watch something and go, "Oh, I didn't know that was going to happen, did you? Oh my god." And I also like to guess things as well. So I had a couple of theories that go like, it got proven right, and then I was like, damn it, now I can't say my theories, because it will sound like I'm like, oh yeah, no, I guess this is my theory. Oh look, it was right. Oh yeah, totally. Shit, I should have stayed quiet. Shit. Anyway, let's get on with the story then. The Marquis stepped into her quarters and closed the door. Catherine flinched, afraid that the small room would draw them even closer. Just the effect that he wanted, probably, the sly fox. She floundered for a bit and contented herself in fussing with the flowers on the table. She should chase him out, but why wasn't she chasing him out? Oh, no, Catherine. I didn't think you'd be attending to that, sire. Weren't you travelling? Yes, I was. But I wouldn't miss your concerto for the whole of France. Gilly stepped forward. And it seems my investments were well placed. Gilly drew closer to Catherine, so near that she could smell the mint in his breath. He appeared to reach out to her face, but changed direction at the last minute. Oh, these flowers are from the Duke. How pretty. He examined the card dangling a hair away from Catherine's ear, trying to look fascinated by the piece of decorative paper. Then he stepped back, grinning like an idiot. He really has great taste. Never did you learn that, muckhead? If he thought that kind of ploy would make her swoon, then he was dead wrong. In fact, all it made her want to do was wipe that stupid grin off his face with the backside of the vase. Yes, he does, doesn't he? She gritted her teeth, unable to take the acidic edge off her voice. It wouldn't be so hard. All she had to do was grab the neck of the expensive vase and fling it at his head. She wasn't sure if the vase would break. Maybe not. Maybe she would need to hit him again for the full effect. Catherine, did you hear what I just said? Huh? I said, now that I'm back in town, would you consider playing for me again? It was part of our original arrangement after all. Oh man, my ears itchy. Why's my ear itchy? She felt the tendons in her neck tighten. I have a full schedule this week, sire, but I'll let you know when I'm free. Oh. Sire, I must retire for the night. I'm exhausted from my performance. After all, excuse me. Catherine turned round and went for her coat, but she felt Gilly grab her hand. Wait. They stared at each other for a couple of seconds. Gilly looked like he was about to say something. Say it! His mouth opened and closed as if debating the correct words in his head. Come on, muckhead. But he just dropped Catherine's hand a moment later. I'm sorry, you're right. You must be tired. His shoulders dropped. Gilly, stop it! Catherine felt a tinge of disappointment, but she ignored it quickly. Gilly let out a sigh. You know I'm not good at this, Catherine. Oh? Well, what do I know? You seem to do just fine. You have an amazing track record. Huh? Catherine folded her arms over her chest with a pout. Oh, that is just because of my face. What? Most people think I'm very deep and thoughtful when I stare at them like this. Ooh, very deep and thoughtful, Gilly. Very, very well done. I just ran with it. Catherine bit her lip to prevent the chuckle from escaping, but the laughter burst out from her. He hadn't changed at all. Before she could stop herself, a mischievous smile appeared on her lips. No, actually, it is your inability to make big gestures, Gilly. Huh? Well, look at you. She copied his tight, alert posture. You stand stiff as a board. I guess it fools people into believing you are a graceful, dashing soul. Gilly made a pout. I am dashing, though. Maybe. Ah, contraire, monsieur. I did have the misfortune of being a victim for your dancing. Must you always bring that up? It was a long time ago. He looked so distressed that Catherine couldn't help but tease him further. I mourn the death of my little toe, sire. I like that toe. It was a very traumatic experience. Before long they were laughing like it was the most natural thing in the world. When did it change? Hadn't it always been like this? Catherine settled back into her own skin, mulling the confusion in her veins. Kath. She looked up at him. Her own emotions stung her. You can't keep running from me. Yes, I can. Keep running, Kath. Don't stop. Don't stop. She sighed deeply. Her hands tightened around her resolve, the lack of a solid thing to hold on to. Perhaps not, but I have already given you an answer. Oh, Gilly, I am aware. I have tried to accept it. Please don't take offence, but I thought it would be easy. I left to clear my head, to fill my mind with other things. Travelling usually does the trick. For a while, at least, I thought I was successful. But even during my trip, I would catch myself thinking such absurd things like, I wonder what Kath will say when she sees that. No, I don't think Catherine will like this too much. Well, Kath used to say. It was funny, but it was also a little infuriating to know that you've never left my mind. So I wish I knew how to do this. I'm too used to people leaving me that I do not know how to quit it on my own. Aww. It must bother you, the amount of lovers I had in the past, and I'm sorry for that. I almost wish I really was that adept. But like I have told you, most were simply rumours. Gilly. The rest were people realising I'm not as interested as they had initially thought. Ow! Ow! I hit my finger. Ow! Oh, it's okay. I'm fine. The show must go on. Use your free hand. Gilly. They never stay long, Kath. One could say I am amazing with first impressions. There's a nagging feeling that's all I'm ever good for. Sort of exotic trophy, like to collect. Like people like to collect for its sake, and then put aside when its novelty expires, and it's whatever it is. Oh god. Oh, better. I can't blame them. By now I'm quite sure that I am what is wrong. Oh, Gilly. I must be better at letting people go. But you... Please, don't make me let you go. You see through me, Kath. Damn it, the feels again. In your eyes, I feel like I am somebody worth loving. Is it any wonder I'd like to continue thinking of you fondly? Old habits die hard, I suppose. Catherine bit her lip. Those are impressive words, sire, but do you have a point? My point? Oh. It's simple, really. I don't think I'll be able to stop my feelings for you. Well, you may reject me as many times as you wish. It will not change. I have already come to the conclusion that I don't mind. He shrugged. So, I propose that you either get used to me chasing you, or you give in to my dashing, toe-mashing charms. Hey. Catherine chuckled despite herself. Or I could just kill you with the Duke's fashionable vase. Please do not give my superior the pleasure. I would rather you rip my heart out of my chest than offer it as a dark sacrifice to the gods. Ugh, Corey. Very poetic. Dashing points for you. You think so? I've been reading a lot of romance novels lately. What kind of romance novels are you even talking about? Figured I must learn to be more suave to make the lady of my dreams swoon. Is it working? Catherine laughed. Hardly. I believe this is how they do it in the big finale. Gilly cleared his throat and knelt down on one knee. Oh, I remember this. He took Catherine's hand awkwardly, trying to act as natural as he could. His serious face made Catherine burst out laughing. Queerfully, what in the world are you doing, idiot? Stop laughing, madame. I must try this at least once. I'm simply concerned for an older gentleman and his knee. Will you be able to stand up from that position later, given your obvious grace? Gilly chuckled. Terrible, dare you call me an old man? I don't look my age, you know. Sure, sure. Oh, stop laughing, will you? I'm trying to concentrate. He cleared his throat again. Will, Mademoiselle Catherine Parrot allow me an audience tonight? As such, perhaps she might allow me to stay by her side for a while longer. It would make me a very happy man. It was sappy and ridiculous, and yet hearing the words did stir Catherine's heart. They were giggling like fools now, like children, her heart heavy with love for him. Love? Did she just think love? Of course she did. She had always loved him. Why was she fighting her feelings again? The reason seemed unclear all of a sudden. Oh, pardon. All right, sire. Your gallantry has convinced this lady to accept your offer for tonight. She bowed with an exaggerated curtsy, and Gilly took her hand theatrically as he stood up. This gentleman is relieved he didn't have to sing. A few rules for tonight. As we are in Paris, you must be on your best behaviour. No embarrassing jokes like making friends with the street moms. Agreed. As such, I must retire by 8:10. 9:30. 9. Take it or leave it. Gilly grumbled, but Catherine just chuckled at his frustration. Fine. 9:15 it is. Sir, I meant 9 sharp. And Gilly's face brightened like a little boy's. Oh, I know where we can go. There is a quaint little piazza just south of here. They have a breathtaking view of the city. They're on a hill, you see. I know the owner personally, so we're already guaranteed their seats. And they serve the best pomme de terre glances. Granting again. If you continue eating that every opportunity you get, soon there'll be no potatoes left in all France. And Kathy sighed. Why must he be so... This better not be a game like all the other flings, sire. I deserve to be treated like more than a prize. But Catherine watched Gilly's face beam as he talked about the little house on the hill, how when the weather was perfect the stars would soak the sky. She giggled to herself with fondness. What a dolt! A night in Paris, and he would rather eat cheesed potatoes. It was just like him to pick the stars instead of the city, wasn't it? It pleased her to know that she adored this side of him that others did not see. But was this the real him? Did she really see through him like he said? Or was this a face he put on for her sake, like most flirts could? If it was, then she had been watching this face since she was a little girl. From awe to admiration, from friends to lovers. They had seen the best and worst of each other through the years. Surely there was something to that. Surely it couldn't all be a lie. I had a bang, and that frightened the shit out of me. Right? No, there's nothing behind me. I'm sorry I got carried away. Shall we go? Yes. Catherine grabbed her coat and Gilly took her purse. Oh, I almost forgot. Rosa is waiting outside. Then let us hurry and meet up with her. I haven't seen her for a long time, and I missed her too. It would be a treat to spend the evening with 2 esteemed ladies. She'll be thrilled to see you. Just like old times. Us 3? Yes. She slipped her hand on his arm nonchalantly and caught Gilly smile to himself. At the very least, let that smile be real. Ah, that still scared me the second time round. You're lying! Lady Claudette saw you in Nimes. Tears and snot ran down her face. She was holding a vintage 1610 bottle of wine. She gripped the neck of the bottle and flung it at the wall where Gilly was standing. He ducked just in time to avoid the glass. Sherry! Don't you shimmy me, bastard! Can we not take it out on the wine collection again? Catherine threw another bottle in response. Stop, Catherine, you're going to hurt yourself. Hurt myself? Like you care. Tell me you're off to Avignon last weekend, but you're actually in Nimes? Why are you making this into a huge deal? So I had to stop over at a neighbouring town. It's a lie if you admit things. I told you at the very start of this relationship, Gilly. I want 100% honesty from you. And I told you as well, I have a reputation. Rumours follow me. Idle mouths can't help but chatter. Did you know that Lady Claudette once indecently proposed to me? And right in her husband's birthday gathering as well. So what? This is all beside the point. You know what they say. If there is smoke, there is fire. How about a name to further torch the bush? Lelaine de Montclair? Lelaine is the shop girl of the town. A nice girl. Or at least I surmised from all those 3 times I made the mistake to enter her shop, it looks like. Is there anything else you would like to insinuate? Oh, nothing at all, sir. Why, is there anything else I should know? Gilly sighed and tried to speak calmly. Sherry, I promised you when we got engaged, didn't I? I will be faithful to only you. There is no one else. But Catherine gritted her teeth. Again, with this. You're more vague than a monkey's spit. That doesn't make sense. Answer me straight. Right now, yes or no? Are you having an affair? Gilly threw his hands up in annoyance. Madge, Catherine, I am not. I have already answered this. Why does it seem like you only hear what you want to hear? I just want to understand everything and make it crystal clear. Is that so bad? Now, explain to me what Lady Claudette, you are taking that bitter, conniving woman's words over mine. Oh. Well, I'm trying to get the information from the source, but the source isn't very reliable. Gilly's shoulders slumped in an irritated surrender. She heard him curse under his breath. I am tired of this, Kath. This is a waste of time. What's the point of this if we keep going around in circles? Sorry. Catherine snuffled, wiping her nose savagely with her hand. You always do this. You go off on a tangent and pick things apart. Don't even listen to my side at all. Could you stop acting like a child for 1 minute? Maybe then we can have a real conversation. Conversation with a lie is always one-sided. Well, Catherine grabbed 2 bottles this time. Catherine, no. What would happen if she brought the 2 bottles crashing in front of her? Would the pieces of glass stab her face? Her eyes, maybe? What a random thought. The morbid picture gave her an out-of-body experience. It was a nasty fight, depressingly familiar. But they were dancing to the same tune once again. Here be the lovers. Enter left, the hothead. Watch her dance with anger blazing. Tears of sparkling bitter rage. The fight goes on till she's spent. The reason's hazy in her head. Pan right, rake. Both the victim and accused. Words are poison of an unlit fuse. Migraines taunt his pride and temper. He grudgingly takes on logic's mantle. The words they throw reach fever pitch. The dance will crest, he'll choose to leave. Enough of this, he says in a rage. Temper rising, he exits frame. Her unspent feather burning hot. She cries it off. That cowardly sod! What did you expect? She asks herself. He'll take abuse with a bowed head. The least he could do, her anger shouts. A hint of guilt, a hint of doubt. A migraine throbs as he is pacing, annoyed and angered, his face aflush. Capricious woman, irrational. He shakes his head with a tired breath, yet he basks in torture and savours the taste. This is love, he nods. This is love, he says. Love and pain go hand in hand. It is painful, yes, but never bland. He nips a morsel and takes a bite. exquisite. He trembles. A rush, a charge. He feels his heart is struck by love. Decides that it is worth the gripe. The dainty flower he must protect, to watch it bloom until it's ripe. But not right now, he says, still sore. His pride's too hard to swallow whole. Hours pass, he wouldn't call. She forms the words she knows will hurt. She plans to cut and make him bleed. Yet when he arrives, she all but weeps. Why'd you leave? I shouldn't have. Are you angry still? I'm here now, love. Her arms are snug upon his neck. He'll promise to change, to do what's best. For both their sakes he admits he's wrong. A little lie to complete the song. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you love. I liked it. I really liked it, sorry. I absolutely love bits in movies and TV shows that just cut away and it acts like it's a stage. Because it's Shakespeare. It's Shakespeare. Just tell me when you're tired of me, or when you find some other pretty thing, you bastard. Catherine slipped back into her brain just as the last sentence left her lips. If you are going to leave me, then just leave. Stop playing me for a fool. This was a new tempo. She dropped the bottle to her side, but did not let go. He noticed the change of song and timed his step accordingly. I never once thought or treated you like a fool. I love you, and I'm never going to leave you. New tears churn and bubble from her eyes. Liar! It was her turn to lead this time, and she did. He was left to perform a solo. Giggity. Contemplation, regret, penance, masturbation. A vow of new beginnings forming in his head. Cat? Rosie! Catherine stumbled into Rosa's room that evening, drunk to high heaven. Her half-lidded eye surveyed Rosa's meagre space. She let herself fall on the bed, regretting it instantly. The ceiling spun in a waltz of throbbing headaches and acid-laced throats. Oh, bad idea. Catherine stood up and her wobbly legs tripped her. Rosa caught her and sat Kath on her small bed. Oh my goodness, you stink of alcohol. She propped some pillows behind her back and fixed the stray hairs that had littered her face. Oh, thanks, hon. You're a dear. How much have you had, Kath? Catherine counted on her fingers. This many. Never mind. Would you like some water? Nope. Interesting. I can almost hear liquid sloshing around in my brain when I shake my head. Rosa pursed her lips. Catherine was in no shape to make decisions right now. Decisions. She stood up to get her something to sober up. But Catherine grabbed Rosa's hand and tugged at it gently. No, you sit. Please. Rosa complied. Catherine revealed a bottle about 3/4 full. Darren! Snuck another one from Gilly Monster's closet. Shh! Serves him back for calling me a child. Rosa began to protest, but Catherine paid her no mind. Come on, Rosa. When have we ever drunk ourselves to the point of insanity? And I call you my best friend. Catherine took a huge swig of the bittersweet liquid and offered it to Rosa. Rosa examined it carefully and took a mouthful. She gargled it in her mouth, admiring the sweet and sour flavour of the wine. I've never had anything this rich before. It's good, right? It had to be. It's the last bottle. So, had another fight with Gilly. Shh. Bad wind follows that name. I am not talking about that egocentric Pompadour tonight. We are going to drink. We are going to reminisce. And tomorrow we'll hate ourselves together. Agreed? Rosa giggled. If you say so. Oh, stop it, you two. Alright, last one. Rosa puffed her cheeks in mock disgust. Fine. How do you make holy water? How? Boil the hell out of it. Rosa and Catherine were assaulted by fits of hysteric laughter. That was terrible. Catherine felt the muscles of her cheeks ache. Oh, this is so bad. I don't even have the words. Catherine wiped the tears of laughter from her eyes. I heard that from one of your suitors, Sir Adrian. Rosa rolled her eyes. How come? I always end up taking to your suitors more than you. I must start charging you for a fee. I'll pay it with gratitude. What is wrong with Sir Adrian anyway? He seems like a nice man. Nice hair, nice teeth, nicely groomed mutton chops. The woman laughed. How about Sir Ferrand? He sent you that lovely bouquet of flowers. I am not interested in a relationship at the moment. At the moment? You don't seem interested ever. I am. Sometimes. It's just hard to connect to people for me beyond physical. Relationships seem out of the question. You don't have any difficulty with me or that idiot in the upper room. It means you're not incapable. That is only because you're my closest friends. Well, there must be someone. There is Kat. Oh, you are so picky. If you go on like that, you might end up an old maid. So be it. I'd rather take care of your children anyway. I shall be the amazing godmother. Catherine smiled wistfully. I'm not sure I want any. What? Children? I love children, but it's a little scary. Catherine bit her lip. What if she becomes her own mother? It was such a terrifying possibility, wasn't it? She barely remembered her mother. Her milady had struck as soon as Catherine was born. She had never called Catherine by her name, not even on the day she had died. All she knew was that their family struggled with that crisis. Her father, exhausted and depressed, and her sister, forced to grow up too fast. To be a blight to the people you love, how horrible would that be? Catherine. Rosa smiled at her, interrupting her thoughts. You will be a good mother. Your past does not matter. Catherine stared at Rosa, almost enchanted at her ability to know what she was thinking. She really was her best friend, wasn't she? The thought warmed her heart and other parts of her body, if you know what I mean. You really think so? Yes. The fact you are so concerned about them before they're even born speaks much of your kindness. Whatever happens, those children will grow up loved. Catherine blushed and changed the subject. Ah, we're out of booze. We finished it. I'm quite buzzed. Hey, remember the first time we drank? Do you mean the party or the potato incident? Of course I meant the potato incident. Oh, how can I forget? Rosa burst out laughing. Oh, that was hilarious. Rich, stop laughing. I almost went to jail. Goodness, I was so stupid. Rosa laughed again. Amen. Hey, you're supposed to say, no, Catherine. We do dumb things when we're young. Catherine, we do dumb things when we're young. It's about time you learn your lesson. can't wait to tell your children endless tales of your shenanigans. You bunch. Tut tut. Catherine grabbed Rosa's waist and attempted to tickle her, but Rosa slipped away laughing. Catherine's stomach lurched and she stopped, her hand still hugging Rosa's waist. The room spun, but it wasn't unpleasant. She felt like being gently rocked in a cradle. She closed her eyes and smiled. She took in Rosa's scent, almost smelling slightly like apples. Rosa scratched her head and smoothed her hair. This is nice. Yes. Rosa? Thank you for being with me. Of course. No, I mean... She sat up on the bed. You've been with me all my life. You are my oldest friend. When we first met, I didn't have many friends. I just studied my piano lessons night and day because that's all I ever knew to do. It was all I had. Maybe that was why I begged Papa to let you stay with us. I was so happy. Rosa smiled fondly at the memory. You were there for me always. Ugh, that sounds disgustingly melodramatic. You're drunk, I understand. They laughed again. Would you like to hear something worse? What? You changed my life. Oh, God, that is worse. Rosa smiled fondly as she played with Catherine's hair. I'm the lucky one, Catherine. You took me home and treated me like I was family. I wouldn't have known what a real family was like without you, Papa Francois and Emily. Even if Papa Francois always did avoid me, I knew he cared for me like his own. Yes, why is that? Because, and this is where my theory came in, Rosa has the power to make men fall in love with her, even though she doesn't necessarily want to. But it's not necessarily love, it might be more lust. And that's where the power of, we talked about earlier, her witchcraft abilities. But it doesn't seem to affect Gilly, and I think I know the reason why now, and it's one of those things that I'm like, no, don't let it be so. I'm hoping my theory is wrong. I'm hoping it is. But that is my theory, and I'm sticking to it. That was why I liked him. He was a good man. And you know, Gilly was almost family too. Catherine made a face at the mention of the man, but her eyes softened. I miss my father. Me too. There was a pause. Catherine shifted awkwardly in her skin. Can I tell you a secret? Of course. Gilly and I, we haven't had intercourse. Recently? No, I mean, at all. Oh. Rosa cleared her throat. I see. After all these years? Well, after the first time, never again. Rosa blushed. Her head knitted together images of the two people she considered her friends. Rosa tried to push them away, but all she was able to do was paint the warped fantasies in gossamer and fuss. She cleared her throat. Is that why you have separate rooms, even when we moved here to the chateau? No, that was his idea. He's very peculiar with his sleep. I imagine we'll be keeping the separate bedrooms even when we get married. I don't really mind. Well, the wedding is soon, isn't it? Perhaps you're just nervous. No, I don't think it's like that. Recently we'd get intimate, but I was stopped when things got too sultry. Oh. He gets upset sometimes, but he says it's alright. Catherine looked down ruefully on her toes. He doesn't pushed me into it, and I should be glad. But don't you think it's strange? What if I stay like this even after we get married? Nothing wrong with that. I don't understand why. Sometimes I get these doubts and I wonder why they're there. Isn't that unfair for him? If he loves you and you love him, then sex shouldn't be the most important thing in a relationship. Oh wait, Rose was not speaking, that was just me. I just feel like there was something wrong with me. Nope. There is nothing wrong with you. But it makes me really insecure. This lack of, you know, what if he's getting it from somewhere else? It drives me crazy. And believe me, I want to. I just can't for some reason. I get this horrible feeling I can't explain. Rosa examined Catherine's face and came to a conclusion. It took me a while to understand sex. The sudden no-nonsense comment surprised Catherine. But Rosa went on. I was the same as you. I had always had an averse feeling for it. Like it's dirty and that I should be ashamed for enjoying it. I'd always thought love would make sex clean. But that's not how it works. They are two separate things. So just because you don't like sex, it doesn't mean you don't love him, Kath. Catherine looked up at her. Why do you even care so much to hurt him? What do you think love is? The warm feeling returned to Catherine's heart. How do you do that? Huh? You always know the right thing to say. Always. Rosa blushed at this, suddenly aware that they were still in a loose tangle of an embrace. I've read a lot of smart books lately. She tried to diffuse the situation with a laugh, but Catherine didn't drop her look. Candlelight played pretty shadows on her skin. It illuminated the glint in her eyes, the moist on her lips. Rosa felt the warmth of the alcohol rise up to her face. Her heartbeat increased steadily. Anyway, maybe you'll feel better about it when you are married. You're probably just nervous about the whole thing. She made attempts to curl away from Catherine's arms. Slowly, subtly ran away. Dispersed the proximity. But she couldn't run away from her stare. Catherine's hand caressed Rosa's face. She touched her scars daintily, tracing them with her fingers. You're really pretty, Rosa. Especially when you smile. Oh, thank you, I think. You don't believe me? I don't think I am. I look in the mirror and I see a freak. Rosa! That's not true. It is fine. I liked being a freak. I wanted to be ugly. I used to bind my breasts and hide in the shabbiest clothes I could find. Rosa touched her eye. This was penance, she remembered herself saying, for being a sinner and a freak, for attracting attention and spite, for dressing nicely, for letting her hair grow long. But really, I did this to myself. To hide. To hide. Rosa's mouth quivered. I thought people don't touch ugly things. But the truth is, they do. So what I'd rather be is invisible. Catherine wrapped her arms around Rosa's neck. She heard Catherine sniff and wipe tears behind her embrace. She pushed Rosa's hair away and kissed her defective eye. You're not a freak, and you're not ugly. I love every part of you. They were all beautiful. Rosa forgot how close they were now. Forgot Catherine's hands on her own. Here was somebody who accepted her with all her faults and ugliness. You always make me feel I'm worth something. Because you are. You are beautiful, Rosa. Inside and out. Rosa saw her face reflected in Catherine's eyes. In them, she did indeed look beautiful. A lump formed in Rosa's throat. Catherine's face hovered above her cheek. She planted a little seed of a kiss in it, just barely away from her lips. Rosa kissed her nose in return, and it made Catherine giggle. At first the kisses were sweet, innocent, the kind of punch-drunk kisses that sent them both into bouts of giggling. But Catherine's hand caressed her neck. Kisses lingered. Lips melded. And this is where you guys don't need me to narrate anymore. You can read on your own. So I'm going to go quiet for a bit. Okay. Right, yeah, took a bit of a deep turn. That startled me too much last time. Rosa flung her eyes open. A sinking feeling of menace overcame her. No! Rosa pulled away. She pushed Catherine away from her face. Catherine's eyes snapped open, startled by Rosa's outburst. Why did you stop? Greedy, selfish bitch! She blinked for a few seconds. A look of horror creeped on her face. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean. No, Cat. Rosa couldn't stand the hurt in her eyes. She was probably blaming herself. Rosa wanted to shout how wrong she was, but the lump in her throat became a rapacious mouth. A tumour had grown inside of her, a parasite. She could feel it pulse and slither inside her neck. She couldn't speak at all. Catherine wobbled off the bed. She wiped her mouth and cheeks, which were covered in a thin layer of jaw. I'm so sorry, Rose. I'm going to leave now. Cat. Good night. Rosa should have followed her. When she tried to stand, the floor twirled. She choked at the flavour left in her throat. Sick and cloying, sticky sweet like honey. The taste both repulsed and enticed her. Thick spit leaked out of her mouth. She felt the urge to vomit. This is nothing, Mother. It's just a bad after effect of alcohol. No. Please don't call me that. It was an accident. Everything is fine. She would talk to Catherine tomorrow, assure her that this was not her fault. Everything was fine. Everything is fine. And there was an urgent knock at Gilly's door. The clock read 2:15 in the morning. closed his journal and stood from his desk. Yes, coming. He opened his door, and this is where I'll leave it for today because this is where the other video began. So I will see you all in the next part, which will be the one after the next part I've recorded. And I hope you've enjoyed. Bye!